Hello mathematicians, and welcome to our video for task 2.9. We're applying decimal operations to given situations. So you can see on your notes, we're going to talk about adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. Before we do that, please know I am not going to go over place value. So thinking about the ones and tens versus the tenths and hundredths, there's a link if you need to go over that. So let's get into all right, folks, let's get into addition. So when we have a number like 16.25, that means 16 and 25 hundredths plus 9.8, 9 and 8 tenths. We line up the decimal, step 1. Step 2, fill in a 0 for any missing place values. So right here after 9.8, we're going to fill that in and then just do the addition. So I am not testing you on your addition skills. You can punch this into the calculator, but what I want you to do is I want to make sure you bring down that decimal place. That is the biggest mistake that I see people making, is not bringing down the decimal to the right spot. All right, so that's addition. Now let's look at subtraction. It's pretty similar. It starts the same. We are still going to line everything up. We are going to fill in the missing zeros so that we have numbers on the top and the bottom, and then we're going to do subtraction. Now, please make sure that you are doing the borrowing so I can see exactly what you're doing. So now we get 2 minus 0 is 2, 16 minus 7 is 9. Again, we are bringing down our decimal to get 9.211 onto multiplication. Now you'll see multiplication is a little different. Multiplication, we are going to rewrite these numbers as if there are no decimals. So let's zoom in on 2 and 11 thousandths become hundredths. Ooh, almost made a mistake. Becomes 211 times 17. That might be easier for you to punch into your calculator, and we know that the product of those two numbers is 3,587. Now, that's not our answer because we have to go back and look at our decimals. So, let me grab a different color. Let's do pink. We moved the decimal 2 times for 2.11 to get 211. And we move that decimal 1 time to get 17. If we add those two place values together, we get 3. So now, going back to our answer, we need to move our decimal 3 places in the opposite direction. So we moved them right to make them whole numbers. Now, we're going to add them back in and start at the right and go 1, 2, 3 places so that our answer becomes 3.587. So the same numbers, but we have made sure to include that decimal. All right, let's get into division. So you'll see I've highlighted 2 different words. I have highlighted the divisor, that is the second. Hold on one sec, folks. That is the second number, and the dividend, that is the first number. So what we need to do is we need to use our powers of 10, remember when we went over that, to figure out how to make the numbers whole. Now, first, we're going to start with the divisor. So you'll see over here that is 0.42 or 42 hundredths. So we are going to do 0.42 times 10 to the, now if I move this decimal 2 places, so 10 to the second would be 42. Now whatever I do to the divisor, I do to the other number, the dividend. So 8.778 times 10 to the second, we're going to move that 2 places, becomes 877.8 tenths. That's okay. There's still a decimal. That's okay. Don't panic. It's supposed to be there. So now we set up our division problem just like we did in our last lesson and do the math. So pause the video to do the math. I bet when you tried to do this, you were like, Armgart, 42 is bigger than 37. What the heck am I supposed to do? Well, you're in luck. All you need to do is draw a 0 in that place, bring down the 8, and now we know 42 is smaller than 378. So we are going to do 9 times 42 will be 378. Nice and tidy, get a 0. But wait, we're missing something. Remember, when you have a decimal inside your division, you have to bring that decimal up. So our final answer here is 20.9. Now, we don't have to go back and do anything else to the decimal because that's how division works. We have the last part of these notes. You'll notice looks a lot like Enter the Dragon. So, double check your answer with a neighbor, check the answer binder, and happy solving.